I remember reading the announcement that the USL made about, starting USL League One, right? So targeting tertiary size cities like Portland. And I think that is when those sort of wheels started spinning a little bit. And I think early on, some folks from the USL took a trip to Portland. They're sort of in their expansion process, trying to visit different markets and meet with different people and sort of sell this, here's what pro soccer can do for your community. I was like, yeah, of course this should work. And of course I can be the one to pull it off. I sort of mentioned, I was a good youth soccer player. I was twice our state player of the year and All-American in high school, and sort of was known as this like soccer guy. And then you combine that with my mom's work and her background and this love of contributing, and being a part of the solution and giving back. But I had no idea how to do it. You have conversations with the league, and they have they do a phenomenal job, their expansion, teams, and, here's the things that you need to solve for. Had a phenomenal partner here, sort of a founding partner, local developer who understood the process with, the city and working through potential stadium solutions, drew on a lot of, sort of best practices from around the league, had, numerous conversations with other clubs and, hey, we're looking to start a club in Portland, Maine. What are the things we need to be thinking about? What are the key considerations? I do think what was maybe a little unique is I had this idea, I really wanted to treat it like a movement, right? How do you include the community in the process? How do you facilitate this sense of agency and ownership so that when the club does come, they feel like they're a part of it? But, a lot of that's born out of this, like, in order for this to be as successful as it can be, it has to be born of Mainers, right? Like, I have my own thoughts and ideas, but there's no ego, there's no pride in what I think this should be, right? How do we include other people in the process? So, it was brick by brick. We hosted, numerous events and watch parties. We did brand building work. I dropped 3 apparel collections before we had a club name. And, meanwhile, you're chasing down, the franchise agreement with the league, and you're working with the city on a place to play and raising capital as well. So those are sort of the 3 things that you need.